Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Today, we look into API management, where we create integrations in Boomi as APIs and expose it into webhooks of other applications. Basically, whenever there is an event happening in any other application, it would send the data to Boomi in real time. This category, we call it out as event-driven integrations. Rishi, is it like that I am using a payment API in my application for doing payment functionalities? Yes, suppose when you are purchasing a product and if on your payment gateway page on your like Amazon, you select pay by UPI app. There you just enter your credits and then it will say open up your UPI app and pay. That hits an API request and sends the payment event to your payment application. That is how it works. Now I will take another example of this. When there is employee data, suppose you have employee, there is a scenario business requirement. They do not want you to send data every day about employees, job updates or something unnecessary data load. Whenever there is a change happening in the employee's job information, the job information will be triggered. To handle such scenarios, you configure Boomi's API into the webhook of the workday for that case. Where in that workday, whenever there is a job information action happening, it will automatically trigger the request to send the request using our Boomi API, and Boomi's integration will be always on listen mode, basically. Let's see component. Let's build an API service. Let's build an API service. Rishi, what this component does, it listens for the changes or what? This component is basically for creating your API. It has your integration process that are connected to the API, which basically it will listen. It will keep pinging over, let's say, SFTP server or whatever source application from time to time and checking if there are any changes. No, this will not listen. They will have to send the request whenever they want to. Boomi will just be in listen mode. Whenever they have a change, they can trigger it. We come to rest. Let me create a point. We'll create a new endpoint. Click on Next. This is a input type. Let's just say single data. Output type single data text plain. AT method tag. Resource path is basically built along with your base path that you entered. And whatever specific one you want just for this integration. New resource addition. Rishi, can you give an example for resource path? I mean, is it a specific folder in our STP server or something like that? No. Wait. We'll come to that. Then we'll add another endpoint. Let's just save it. Let's create another one. We'll come here. Subtract, click. Rishi, are we mapping the request with process? Are we mapping the request with process? Now let's come to addition. And this again. Basically, there are two ways to configure. When you just have one process, you can directly configure it like this. Take a start, shape and select Web Services Server. Basically, it is for this API category. Where Boomi acts as this listener. Then you select that operation. Again, whatever we edit there, it's the same thing. It's coming up over here It's get object input type as single data, output type as single data. Again, if you're sending a whole profile, we can select that. And if you're expecting an output, whole profile, we can select that. But since we're keeping it simple for now, we'll just leave it like this. Now let's just say, like if I have a single process addition, then I do not need AP. I calculate to configuration. If you just have only one endpoint, but if you have multiple, then you need that. Now, whatever data is coming in, let's do a mapping. Let's change something. Instead of single data, let's make it singular JSON object. Let's create a JSON profile. Import this. One question is like for single data, a map here will not work. For single data map here, map shape will not work because it is not defined. You still need a profile for it. Let's copy a JSON profile. Let's come to demo API. Let's choose this. Output will just get single data for now. Now let's change that as well. Add a map shape. Let's choose a JSON profile. Choose a JSON profile. JSON employee. Now, since this is an addition, let's do this simple. Numeral. Add. Valuative add. Let's add. We'll take salary. We'll map it to result. We'll save this. Now this is done. Let's do. We have to use our return documents because we want to return it to the API response. Once this is done, let's come to subtract. Same thing we'll have to configure. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Input type of again same single JSON object. Output type a single JSON object. Let's just save it. Do you know? Instead of choosing from there, you can always do a drag and drop here. It's easier. Let's do another numeric. Valuative subtract. Let's subtract 1000 again. Once this is done, let's come here. This is also configured. This is also configured. Now let's deploy it. Let's view the deployed API. This is our deployed API. This will be our. Once your API is deployed, you can click always on this Manage API icon. It will redirect you to the page where your API is deployed. When you click on View, it will give you the details about your API. If you give all this information, you will see it here under Documentation. Basically, who is the owner and everything, and email address. For now, we just left it blank. Now if you see base URL path, this would be for our API. Now let's go to Backend integration. Go to Data Management. If you see under Listener, you'll have your process. Basically, now it is an active service that is listening to the requests that are coming in. To test it out, go to Shared Web Server, where you'll have these details, your Boomi base URL, and you will get access to it. Let's add a user username. Let's get boot. Let's do generate token. Let's save it. Now let's come to Postman or some any other API tool. In authorization, select basic auth. Password would be this. Your username would be this. Generate token copy. Space the token here. Once this is done, come back here. Copy this endpoint. Paste it here. Now let's move to body. Select it as raw. Since we had JSON, let's add the JSON profile. Let's see what happens if we now hit a request. If it comes or it fails, let's see. Now, since we are doing addition, we need to pass it. We need to pass addition here. How did we know that? If you come to build, in our API rarest endpoint, this was the path. This calculate addition. If I do a send, let's see. Operation. Let's see why it's failing. We go to Atom Management. This is the base path. I received put/after.com. I'm still unknown operation. Let let Let's deploy this. Let let let's I can't figure this one out. Why it's not working? Meanwhile, you guys had questions. Now you can ask. No one has any questions on the APIs. I'll implement it in my today's practice. Then I'll ask you a question tomorrow. Yes, Rishi, once we do our practice, we can come up with the questions. I'll sort this one out. Why it's not working? And then we'll have all that. Rishi, we are sending the JSON file there. Have we enabled the configuration for request parameter? Request parameters is for URLs. If I'm sending something in, my request itself, like in the URL itself, not for the body. Yes, we have enabled a request body. Yes, that's what I'm asking. Yes, because if you look here, handling of incoming request section is there. Here we had passed it too. It is single data node. No. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.